crafty friends, it's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings, and we're going to be doing a Scrappy Tails video today on imposter holiday dies. Ooh! I love this owl, and I wanted to show you quickly how I'm doing my new die storage. Those magnets were getting so heavy and stuff still fell off, so I've decided to start doing this. What do you think? Okay, so my whole point here is this owl does not have to be Halloween, and I was not the only one to think this. Adam Carl, who is a teammate of mine, has a Instagram account, and he came up with this amazing owl. Blew my mind when I saw it. So then I started talking to Sabrina about my idea with all of these Halloween dies that I've been making cards for year round, and thought maybe you guys would like to get in on it. And she said, heck, give them 20% off. So use the code SharonHalloween20, and I'm gonna tell you it's more than just the owl. I've got a bunch of them in this video today. But SharonHalloween20 will get you this awesome owl that you can use for all kinds of holidays, not just for Halloween. And that Halloween card that I showed you at the beginning, that's it for Halloween on this video. Anyways, Mr. Owl here, I am adding a Jelly Roll white pen to this. I'm dabbing off the extra dark spots, and you're gonna think I'm absolutely crazy. If you're new here and you're not accustomed to my craziness, hit that subscribe button because you're gonna wanna come back and see some of this nuttiness. I promise you it'll be useful. If you enjoy what I'm doing, hit the like button and give me that thumbs up. Leave me a comment too about what you think about what I'm doing. Anyways, I'm adding some more feathery marks around the owl's face here with a Copic marker that is slightly darker than my colored paper here. And although it looks pretty intense while I'm applying it right now, this is going to dry back to be just a shade lighter, and it's going to give lots of depth and dimension. Now I take the time to test this on the scraps first because of course it looks very different wet than it does dry, and you're going to see as we move along how different it looks. Now I'm getting his little owl face pieces in here. They are directional, so you want to kind of dry fit them before you put the glue on, and then once you've got them lined up you can squish them around on his face and no problem. He's kind of looking a hot mess now. Wait until I add this piece. Now there's not specifically a belly piece in the separate dies, but they are so easy to snip out because Sabrina's got them attached by just these small connectors. Now I've got his chest there, and I'm going to ink blend it. Ink blending, of course, makes everything pop. And if you need to take another look at Adam Carl's ink blending on his owl, you'll have to head on over to his Instagram. He does some amazing work. He's well worth following. I'm going to link that stuff below. So of course, you know I'm going to ink blend the little lower bum tail feathers. I don't know what those are called. A little bit on my owl as well as doing that branch. And you'll notice too with my original die cut here, I didn't waste paper cutting that entire branch because I was cutting the piece separate. Now you'll also notice that I'm ink blending over top of my white marks. They're dry now. They're not going to smudge, but as this video progresses, you're going to see that they start to change. I'm also grabbing the little eyeballs and giving them a really quick working over. This is just a piece of homemade sticky mat that I've got them stuck to, and I'm giving them a good zhuzh. I'm going to start putting my pieces together here. And one of the things you want to remember is make sure you stick the branch on before you stick on the feet. Don't ask me why I know this. So it looks a lot better when the owl looks like he's grabbing onto the branch than that he's levitating slightly behind it, especially without his wings outstretched. That would be a really scary Halloween owl. Anyways, these little feet too, they actually have nails that go to the left and to the right, and that's how you can tell which ones go on which foot. Not that I think anybody would notice if you put them on backwards. So this next little piece here, we're just going to put glue all over the place because the next two pieces that I'm connecting together are going to be one right after the other, and they will be quite easy to put into place. And I think that this belly piece that I cut extra does a lot to add to this owl. Now you're probably looking at this thinking, how does this look any different than the owl in the first card that I showed you? Especially if I was to put these same old owl eyeballs in here. He looks mildly perturbed, or maybe slightly PO'd, if you like. Maybe even happy birthday, you jerk. Oh, well, let's start changing this up a bit. So I have cut 4 of the eye ruffle circles, the smaller ones, and I've gotten them in a bit darker. This is a pearlized brown that I have. And you're going to cut 4 of them because we're going to take and put a good round daub of glue in here because we're going to use those round eyes. And once we stick the round eyes in, you can see immediately it starts to change how this owl looks. Now I've got my eyes placed fairly close together. If you wanted to, you could slide them out to the sides of the head a bit more than they already are. And you can see here how I've taken the second cut of ruffles around the eyes and added them to the top of the circle. Now this has nice big, what are those? Pupils? Oh my goodness. So it's been so many years since I've been out of school, my brain's going to mush. It might have been the COVID. Anyways, I'm coloring them in with my Sharpie brush tip pen. And you're going to see that I give up on that later and switch to something else. And then I also cut the pearlized brown wings for the overlay here. And then a second set of the shoulder caps, which come as their own dies separately. What I'm doing is just snipping them apart with a little kind of triangle snip on either side. And I'm actually going to take this piece, and to make it a little bit more fun, rather than taking a large piece, I'm going to use these to just make a little peekaboo on the wing so that the wing has a tiny bit of a lighter colored stripe to it. And so that's all I'm doing is gluing them underneath the pearly brown pieces and letting a little bit of the kind of off-white color be revealed. So I'm adding glue all over these wings here, and then once I go to fit them in place, I'm going to allow the white piece to overlap on top of the piece below it, and then I'll puzzle piece it in and add the next one. So that's another look that you can get from your owl if you like. So here's where I decided I wanted something different. I really wanted his eyeballs to pop, and I thought that making his pupils really large would be a lot of fun with this Ranger it's epoxy or enamel. And then I've also got some white acrylic paint. You can use anything that you have white. Take a little fine picky tool and just do a couple dabs into the wet black Nouveau drops or epoxy drops, whatever you've got. And that's going to give you great highlights for his eyes. Don't you think that looks cool? Like really, really, really in your face. Now you can see I've added a few more details here with markers onto these pieces, and you can also see now how that white jelly roll pen has started to seep through the ink blending that I did. I also like to take just a regular office pen, and I like to use that to put little fine details in, especially for things like feathers or fur, whatever it is. An office pen, especially a gel one, can be so useful when you're adding little bits of detail. So you can see here how this guy has turned out. Okay, I wasn't joking about doing an owl birthday card, and I'm using 2 more Halloween dies. These glasses come from a Halloween die set, and that beautiful stripy cover plate die comes from the Halloween set. And you'll probably recognize those beautiful branches. Those are from the Assorted Christmas Leaves die set. You got to get those. Skull and Ghost Duo dies has a cool funky pair of glasses and all kinds of other great things. And then this one has those Harry Potter style glasses, and they're a good size. They're almost 2 inches by 1 inch, and these guys are nice and big too. And never mind that hat. Don't you think you could make a sorting hat out of that guy? I'm going to try. Anyways, the A7 striped ghost cover plate, which I used in my past video, and I made 2 birthday cards. One was a happy birthday card, and the other one was happy birthday. Now I couldn't decide glasses or not glasses, and I used some Tombow Mono Multi, just 2 little dots, so I could take the glasses and stick them back on or take them back off. Now, if you want to do this type of kind of half covered eye for your owl, you can always color in the colored or the iris of the eye. Pupil iris, yes, okay. We're going to have a lesson on how eye parts go together. And of course, I know the eyebrow, because being an esthetician, I did a ton of eyebrows over the years. Eyebrow positioning can make all the difference in the look of your creature. So you can do surprised eyebrows, you can do straight kind of indifferent eyebrows, or you can also do, of course, these kind of angry eyebrows that the die set has imprinted already. But you can see as I slide them down and I just clipped the end off here, just one little clip so that it doesn't overextend. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to rotate it underneath this eyebrow. See how it starts to change him? Now the other thing too, the size and positioning of the iris of the eye, no, the pupil of the eye, that also can change things. Now sometimes working with our Copics or our markers can be a little difficult, and I'm going to say again, get that office gel pen in and you can take it and firm up any of the lines, and this will also help create an indent in the paper too so that it looks like it's a die cut piece. And you can bring that around, and when you bring them around and lower, it almost has a soft sleepy look to this owl's face now. So now he's just kind of comfortable and hanging out. He's kind of looking, you know, cool and intelligent, but not anything that's going to look Halloween-y or irritated. Now, if you want to add a little bit more to him, we can put one more eyebrow kind of tuft lower. We're going to cut this one back just a little bit shorter than the last one, and you can take it and put it just lower, and all of a sudden he looks sleepy, which might be cool for a grandpa card. I'm not sure. Maybe you know somebody who's smart but likes their naps. It just gives you lots of different expressions for this owl. And you can see the one side of his face versus the other. Now, of course, where you put your kind of highlight marks also make a difference. When you put them more in the center and higher up, it's going to be more of an intense stare. But you can see how the card would have looked even with that background and the different facial expressions of the owl. That kind of angry owl thing makes that card so much more of a Halloween card. There, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm taking my darker Copic marker here, and I'm just going to intensify the details for this particular owl because no owl shall go to waste. Especially too when you have somebody who's an owl lover like I am. I do dig my owls. And there's a lot of people out there that love owls. I already have a lineup of people who are wanting to buy owl cards from me. So this background card here is there's those glasses. This background here is a Christmas background, and I just wanted to show you that it doesn't have to be a Christmas background either. It is not included in the 20% off sale, but it is still a very, very cool die if you're looking to put something else in your basket, and it would make it very easy to make Christmas cards this year, and also useful all year round. So here he is with those cute little glasses from the Skull and Ghost duo, and there he is without them. It's still a pretty cool birthday card. Now, this one was the most fun. I took these round eyes and colored them in so that they were nice and green and bright. And then I added all the little extra colors to the iris of the eye, which doesn't this look like a particular owl? Again, somebody's a big fan, then you got an easy way of making them a great birthday card. And I took those eyebrows and I glued them into the corners of the eye, but we're going to change them around here by adding extra little pieces. And these pieces I'm not going to overlap. I'm going to add them from the bottom so that it adds bulk to these actual eyebrows. So what I'm doing though is I'm lining them up to where I want them, and then I'm actually going to take my white Jelly Roll pen and mark on these round eyeballs where I need to cut the extra piece off, because of course it's going to look weird as if his eyeballs are peeking above his eyebrows. It's going to look like there's something wrong. So we're just going to snip those off along the lines that we've already done, and there you go. Now he looks normal again. Of course, underneath he looks angry. So we're just going to take and add some glue in here so that we can get them glued in place. And because those eyebrows are only glued by the very, very corners, it's no problem to kind of scoot them out of the way. And I just want to make sure I get them at the right angle so that those eyebrows can go where they need to go. And because they are done at the corner, we are actually going to be attaching them up much higher than what the normal eyebrows are going to be attached at. But we're going to fix the ones that are imprinted into the base die cut by adding this little piece over top. And you can see how this starts to give like kind of a cool looking eyebrow that looks a little more tufted out. Okay, I've already fit and trimmed the eyebrows that are going to go underneath, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue so that I can get them into position. Now I'm going to say if you're a real realist when it comes to making the Harry Potter owl, you may want to just trim off of those little ears that are up there, and that's going to make it more realistic looking. So now that I have these attached eyebrows down, that I've got them placed up much higher, you can see how she has like this kind of exotic, intense look. I'm just covering up a little boober that I had there. Now, I have some feathers here in my stash, and some of them have some downiness. I couldn't find my white feathers, so we're going to use the gray ones, but it's okay. I've got multiple kind of colors of white paper going on, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. I have this little tiny end piece of feather clipped, and what I'm going to do is just kind of pull the fluffies or the down up so that I can have a V shape with the down, and then flip this over so that that little shank from the feather is sticking right between those eyebrows. And I just, after holding it for a second, will let it puff out. And then once it's dried, I can give it like a little trim job. But as I was doing this, I was thinking, wouldn't it look cool if she had some of that feathery fluff on her feet? I think that's how the kind of Arctic or South Arctic, I don't know where these birds are from, but a snow owl, that's probably what it is, a snow owl. I think they have fuzzy feet to begin with, so we're just going to put some feathers here. Now, you can always glue those little downy tufts to the actual talons themselves, let them dry, and then try them out on your owl first, so then you've not kind of ruined your project. But of course, I know for sure that I really like them. They'd look better if they were white, and it would look better if I had actually done some lighter colored talons, but I'm going to fix that by adding a little bit of paint over top of them. So that's dry enough now that I can give it a little trim job, a little bit of a haircut, get rid of those extra pieces that are a little bit too far over the eye and a little bit too high up on the brow. I think it adds such a great, cool detail though. I think that would be fun to get a card that has that kind of little bit of extra on it. And that's what I'm about. I'm about the extra and the difference here. So that's that owl done. And then we need a background for her. And this is a Halloween die. This central die, of course, my cards are 5x7s. This central Halloween die is a spider web with a gigantic spider. The spider is like so cool. And Sabrina did a really, really great pop-up card with them too. They're fun if you leave them on your floor done in black. So if you did it in green, I think it would be great for, you know, a mermaid scene card or a fish card. And I also think that for like a little secret hollow for in the woods or something would be an awesome card. I'm going to do that up for a next video. I have another video coming that is going to kind of help with this and show you all kinds of things that these Halloween dies can do besides Halloween. But I think her wintry kind of crackly background here looks great. Now that background's done with just some paint, blopping, and some Pearl Nouveau drops, and then I shook some glitter over top. I know I don't show everything that I do, but if you guys are interested in what I do, you know, leave a comment down below. I can always see what I can do about showing you more. And I've got some Scrappy Tails snowflakes here. I'm going to add those in, and then I'm going to add also some of the Scrappy Tails embellishments as well. Sabrina's got tons and tons of fabulously priced rhinestones and things like that. So I also do have a buy me a coffee if you want to support my channel and thank me for, you know, showing you all this cool stuff. That's floating on acetate too if you end up wanting to see how I did that. But I think she turned out pretty cool, and hopefully this gets your creative juices flowing and helps you think of ways that you can stretch your dies and get more than just one particular holiday out of them. Thanks so much for joining me. Have an awesome day. Get crafty. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Here's those other Halloween videos in case you want to check them out. Thanks. Bye. Oh, they're included in the sale too.